must be lovers, we'll marry our fortunes together.
Hi. If you live in the United States and you love being outdoors with your dog, and if you're exploring new ways to make extra income, then truffle hunting could be the opportunity that you're looking for. Truffle hunting in the US is nothing new. Especially in the Pacific Northwest, people have been truffling for decades now, with very little fuss. But recent trends in the country have caused the rest of the truffling world, I think, to sit up and take notice. The last decade or so has seen some really rapid developments in the US truffle market, and right now it seems that the industry is on the verge of a massive boom. First, let's check out the factors which are right in place to kickstart rapid growth for US truffles. Then I'm going to tell you what you have to do in order to make the most of the current situation before every single Tom, Dick and Harry starts to jump on the bandwagon.
It's the greatest fun I ever had, and I'm 71 years old, and I've never done anything and had so much fun doing it.
As mentioned before, truffling in the States is nothing new, particularly in the Pacific Northwest, where people have been collecting and studying the Oregon truffle species for years. However, most of the truffles that are consumed in the States are imported from Europe. Until recently, American truffles were thought to be inferior in quality compared to their European cousins, and American truffles were not welcome in the kitchen. In the 1990s, US truffles were selling for $25 a pound. Today, that same amount of truffle can sell for $800 a pound. So, what happened? Well, dogs happened. Until recently, trufflers in North America invariably did all their collecting with a rake. The main problem with this method is that you rake up all manner of truffles regardless of how ripe they are. So some truffles will be mature, others will be completely unripe with absolutely no flavour at all and zero culinary value. There was no market for them, hence this really ridiculously low price. All that's changed since the early 2000s when trained dogs like Betty here were brought in to do the job of finding truffles.
Good news, everyone!
Dogs gradually started to replace the rake. With their expert noses, truffle dogs act as a kind of quality control, sniffing out the truffles which are ready to be eaten, those perfectly ripe specimens. To almost everybody's surprise, when harvested correctly using dogs, then US truffles are every bit as good as their European counterparts.
Round two!
Pretty quickly, chefs got behind the local truffle. You see, it's in their interests to support the product for two reasons. First of all, having a local product helps solve the shelf life issue. You see, with truffles, their aromas start to diminish the moment they leave the ground. This means that despite the protestation of the European truffle companies and despite their exorbitant price tag, Italian and French truffles are nowhere near fresh by the time they get to the plate of a fine diner in a fancy West Coast restaurant. Local produce is always going to be fresher, and with truffles, it's all about the freshness. Chefs also love the fact that these locally harvested truffles fit right in with current lifestyle trends. People nowadays are concerned about what they eat, where it's produced, carbon footprint, that type of thing.
We're kind of ground zero for the truffles. It's something that we can celebrate what we have in Oregon. We're proud of these.
You've got a great product and its reputation is growing quickly. So let's look at what happened to prices as a result. When US truffles are collected in the European way, they command prices approaching those of the most expensive black truffle, the Perigord. Some rakers are stubbornly clinging onto their tools, downplaying the damage they do to the industry and to the environment.
Yeah, baby, come to Papa, yeah!
Raking is not practiced in Europe, where the truffle business is a lot older and knows that it depends on its reputation for quality products. Raking does not give a quality product. In Europe, we have a whole different set of problems which may work to the advantage of the US truffle industry. So what's bad for us could be good for you. Droughts, changes in climate and changes in agricultural practices are all contributing to a steady decline in the European species. This has been recorded since the start of the 20th century. Meanwhile, global demand for truffles is increasing, and the US is home to an abundance of world-class truffles. Despite this abundance, US truffle supply cannot keep up with demand, and this translates as high prices. What the country needs now are more dedicated truffle hunting teams, dog and human truffle teams, to take the US industry forward. Truffles grow pretty much year-round in the States and are found all over the country, from the Douglas fir forests of the northwest to the pecan orchards of the southeast. The states are packed with truffles, and tons of them every year are going unharvested. If you enjoy exploring and you're persistent, you can be very well paid as a truffle hunter. But this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Truffle hunting is hard work and it's not steady work either, so it's not for everyone. Foragers should be the first to get on board and make the transition to truffle hunter. They already have the forest skills, they just need to add a dog to the mix. Once you find your first truffle, hunting becomes a hobby which can sustain itself, a great leisure activity which covers its own costs. As you get to know the field well, other doors of opportunity will open themselves before you, and you'll see all the different ways that you can planting a small truffle orchard, training dogs, organising truffle tours, making truffle products. There's a whole truffle economy starting up, and what a great time to get involved and to help it grow. If you think that you could be one of these new pioneering trufflers helping the US industry to grow, then you're going to find this channel very useful. There are dog training videos to get you started, and then others to help you deal with any problems you might encounter along the way. While you're here, I'd love it if you could subscribe to the channel, and if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below and I promise I will answer them for you. With that, goodbye for now and take care over there.